Dawley lies in the centre of the East Shropshire coalfields and has one of Shropshire's longest histories. It was first mentioned in the Domesday Book in 1086. Supplying the Coalbrookdale Company for the Derby family, and also for the second largest ironworks in the United Kingdom at that time was Old Park, for the Thomas Botfield family. Along with many other smaller foundries and also clay for the developing pottery factories, Dawley grew dramatically. However, after all this activity, Dawley, in the late 19th century fell into decline, with the population shrinking as the need for labour being in short supply. The area was littered with pit mounds, spoil heaps, derelict forges, and engine houses. Dawley Urban District Council sought to regenerate the area as early as 1952, but did not have the resources to do much about it. But in 1955, a local journalist for the Wellington Journal, A.W. Bowdler, known locally as Scoop Bowdler, wrote an article in the Birmingham Gazette on how to help solve the problem of the slum-ridden Birmingham area, and also solve Dawley's problems at the same time. He suggested that people from the overcrowded West Midlands area could be relocated to Dawley, to encourage this needed regeneration of the area. This was picked up by the leader of Dawley Urban District Council, George Chetwood, who wrote to the Lord Mayor of Birmingham, and Shropshire County Planning Office, which resulted in 100 dwellings being built for Birmingham people from 1958 to 1961. The new town was to be planned by the newly set up Dawley Development Corporation, who took over from the local council, who lost most of the power it had over any development. A master plan for Dawley New Town was prepared by John H. D. Maiden and partners from Birmingham, and was published in January 1965. A loop road was proposed, with most of the residential areas to be grouped inside this loop, along with a new town centre and park. Industry was to be located outside of this loop. However, some of the housing was planned outside this. Compulsory purchase of land and property in the area began, with many people unhappy with this. Most not wanting to move, but being forced to. Old communities, like Dark Lane, Old Park, and Hinks Hay, were broken up and split across the area, to accommodate the new town. The new town's first estate was Sutton Hill. It was built on mainly agricultural land next to Hills Lane in Madeley. It consisted of over 1,000 houses, which were built from 1966 to 1969. During this early development time, Dawley itself was in the main left untouched. In July 1965, Richard Crossman, the Minister for Housing and Local Government, suspended the master plan, and in April 1966 Dawley Development Corporation produced, for the government, a continuity plan, which enabled the southern part of the new town, mainly Madeley, to continue. Meanwhile, the John Maiden Group started proposals for the development of Dawley, Oakengates and Wellington. During this time, the Treasury and government were having second thoughts on whether to cancel this new town project. However, in 1967, Anthony Greenwood, the successor to Richard Crossman, criticised the slow progress being made, even though it was the ministry's brake that had been put on the development of the area. He appointed Sir Frank Price as chairman of the corporation. In the late 60s, the government were considering proposals to incorporate Wellington and Oakengates into the new plan. This resulted in the development over the whole area being severely delayed. With the new housing, which was in place, it was found that most of the people moving to the new town were primarily from the Black Country and not Birmingham overspill. Also, industries were not moving in at a satisfactory rate, so many new houses were left vacant. In December 1968, Anthony Greenwood decided that Wellington and Oakengates would be incorporated in the new town. The size of the new town would now be doubled in size. The name of Dawley New Town would now be replaced with the name Telford New Town. This being in honour of Shropshire's first county surveyor, Thomas Telford.